A very good morning to you, Mawande. So, of course, a lot has happened in Phoenix, particularly with the unrest. There seems to still not be much healing that has taken place. What has the police minister told the people of Phoenix?
Good morning. Well, at this point in time, we're still awaiting the arrival of the police minister, Bheki Cele, who is holding feedback meetings with various communities. He started off in Bambayi, and he was due to be here at Phoenix in the church behind me, which is Vineyard Church. He was supposed to be there at about 11. From there, it is expected that he will then go and speak to the community of Mawande. From there, he will then travel to the community of Bambayi. All of these communities are neighboring communities to the Phoenix area. We do recall that this is all in relation to the July unrest, where at least 36 people lost their lives. And from the figures and the numbers that we have, it's at least 31 people that had been arrested with regards to those killings of people who lost their lives during the July unrest. So we're still awaiting for the police minister to arrive to give feedback to the community here on the various issues relating to, number one, those investigations, as well as the progress that police have made in unearthing and uncovering what transpired in terms of the investigations.
Mawande, do we know what the people of Phoenix want to hear from the minister?
I think that is quite a complex question, particularly when you look at the demographics, which played a part in terms of what transpired, because you've got two sides of the coin, and we cannot dilly-dally about it. It's race-related issues. So between the two races that are at the forefront of this, they are expecting different feedback. They want to hear. I wouldn't say that there's a common interest in terms of what they want to hear, because of what we've seen transpire. We've seen when some of the accused had appeared in court that they had been receiving support from various members of the community who, for them, say they are seeking justice, and they feel as though those who had been taken in by the police may have not done any wrongdoing. But there are also those on the other side who feel as though those who were apprehended had a role and were responsible for the loss of loved ones or the lives of loved ones. So really there isn't one answer to say what the community really wants to hear. It depends on which side of the coin those community members are on.
I would imagine the community, Mawande, is not sitting down holding hands and singing Kumbaya, because there is a lot of healing that still needs to happen in that part of KwaZulu-Natal. But, you know, is there any signs of normalcy? Is there any signs of a community that won't erupt again anytime soon?
It's a difficult one to call, particularly when you're on the outside looking inwards. If you zoom in and you speak to the people in the community, then you get a different picture. There are still those who are not at ease. They're not sitting in a comfortable position, similar to when you're sitting in the 4-4 position in a taxi. There's always that one person closer to the door that's not sitting quite right, and they're not comfortable. I think there is still a bit of people who are not at ease. There may be still tensions that we may not see by just looking at people walking in the streets. However, when it comes to emotions and the trauma of what some of them witnessed during that period, you may feel that then in that regard there are those who are not at ease and are not particularly happy with even being in a specific area, but due to circumstances they find themselves, because it's a community where there's, in terms of the demographics, there's different races living together in one cul-de-sac. And when we look at really what transpired, as I say, there may be those who still are not at ease, but from outside looking inwards, you can't really say. People are walking in the streets, they're going about their lives as per normal, pre the unrest that we saw. But the picture in post also seems like the one of pre the unrest in terms of, as I say, when you're from the outside looking inwards. But when you do speak to certain people, then the opinions and views start to differ. And that's when you can then sense that there is still some tension. There are people who are still living in fear.
Of course, and that I would imagine is something that you can expect. Well, Mawande, thank you very much. We'll leave it there, and of course we'll definitely be catching up with you a little later on to hear exactly what it is the Minister of Police, Bheki Cele, would have said at the time.